taxes raised, and why do I have no one to work my farm? I do not understand this, and I know that this was not what Donald Trump meant to happen. I know that he doesn't want us good Trump supporter folks suffering, but we are. Donald Trump, please reverse this. I'm a white person.
Hold on, so let me get this straight. The white farmers in Louisiana, they're mad because people of color won't come work on their farms.
There's a major outcry going on in the US farming industry right now because so many farms are struggling. And I've seen videos this afternoon from Arkansas, for example, where farmers have got together and they're asking Trump for social assistance. They're saying, hey, help us out. But this is the policies that they voted for. They voted for mass deportations. And now it's going south on them big time. So what do these guys expect? You know? And now they're asking for money because their farms are going out of business. They said their markets have been taken away from them. They said they don't have enough labor to pick the crops. And as a result of that, their farms are dying. And so is the livelihood. But these are guys, especially in Arkansas, who voted overwhelmingly for Donald Trump and his policies. And now they're asking for handouts. Sorry folks, no sympathy from me. Let me know what you think about this in the comments.
You guys aren't going to believe this shit. I'll make it fast, but stay to the end for the kicker. You remember the last few years when you could not find a single family home, and if you could, you probably couldn't afford it because you had corporate interests like Zillow and BlackRock. They were coming in, heavily investing in the real estate market, wiping the single family homes off the market so the average person could not even buy one. Fast forward to this week, I'm sure you've seen the story of the Missouri farmer, the young guy who was at risk of losing his farm because the grant that he was going to receive to reimburse him for all these expenses he had been cut. Well, look, they've also cut U.S. aid, which gave farmers millions and millions of dollars because they would buy their crops and then send them overseas or send them, places here in the United States to help people in need, but it also helped the farmers. Well, I found out today that there is a website called Acre Trader. Acre Trader is a company that heavily invests in agricultural land. So you can go invest in these farms that are failing, that somehow they're just starting to fail, and you can just buy them up. Well, guess who heavily funded Acre Trader? JD fucking Vance. Do you think they're out here just destroying these small farms so they can...
Oh yes guys, welcome back to the channel, and I hope you are all doing good. What we want to talk about is about the American farmland. American farmland is in crisis. Yes, it's in crisis, and a wave of bankruptcies is sweeping across rural communities, and many white farmers are losing their land, the lands that their families have held for so many generations. Yes, and the pressure is so much intense and frustration is rising. But instead of demanding answers from the government, the banks, or the corporations buying up farmland, some are turning their anger towards black farmers, a group that has fought for over a century to keep the little land they have. So today we're just here to break down what is really happening and why some farmers are now targeting black-owned farms. Yeah guys, let me roll the clips, then I'll be coming back with more commentaries. In case of any thoughts, kindly feel free to let me know in the comment section. Stay tuned.
So the other day I heard that in Nebraska, farmers are about to lose their farms because they voted for Trump. If they only had someone to let them know that voting for him was going to be so disastrous. Oh no, wait, they did. But I guess the only thing left to do now is to sing about it. There was a farmer had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. He was racist and he voted for Trump, E-I-E-I-O. With a racist here and a racist there, here, there, everywhere there's ice raids. There was a farmer had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Keyword here is had.
Okay guys, I've been listening to this farmer talk for a couple days about how he wants empathy and everything for what he's going through. And he's like all upset because he's like, you want my farm to fail and he's crying. But here, let me, I don't want your farm to fail. I don't want him to fail. Alright? I'm not one of those fuck around and find out kind of people. But here's the problem. When I look at this guy, I see a friend of mine, a female. She's with this guy. He's cheating on her all the time. Bad things to her all the time. Mean to her, nasty to her. She broke up with him. We showed her pictures. We told her all the bad things that this guy cheating behind her back, going back to the old baby mama and everything, right? So she decides to go back to him. When she goes back to him, she's like, screw everything you guys say. I'm riding with him. Ride or die. All right? Then he cheats on her again. Breaks her heart again. And now she comes right back to us and she wants us to feel bad for what she just went through. Now, here's the problem. We warned you. We told her. We showed her pictures. She had all the evidence that this was a cheating man. She knew he was a cheating man. But she chose not to listen to it because she trusted and loved a man that was doing bad things to her. But here's the thing. After he did it again, she wanted us to now have empathy and feel for her after we completely kept telling her. Now, we still loved her. We still cared about it. It's like, but girl, we know that we're going to bring you back into our love right now. But we also know that if he gaslights you again, you'll go right back to him. That's how you do it. You're upset now because he's hurting you now. But as soon as that little hurt gets over and he sweet talks you again, you are going to go right back. So that's the problem that I have with this farmer. All right. He wants empathy for him or sympathy for him because he's going through all this stuff. But where was his empathy when the young mother was losing her food stamps? Or the young Palestinian going to a college, went to a protest, and now his visa was taken because he was protesting the unaliving of his grandmother in another country. And his visa was taken. Where was your empathy then? Where was your empathy when people were saying, we don't need the National Guard in Washington, D.C.? Where was your empathy when they were putting people in Alligator Island? Okay? Where was your empathy when 11 people on a boat with no proof at all were unalived? See, you want empathy when something happens to you. But when things happen to other people, it's like, oh well, I told you, pull your stuff up by your bootstraps or whatever. See, I don't have a problem. I feel bad about your farm and everything, and I feel bad for what you're going through. But I know that if Donald Trump was to come and save your farm tomorrow, you would go right back to saying screw everybody else. See, you only want empathy now because you're the one that's getting screwed. You're almost like Nancy Reagan was against stem cell research until her husband got Alzheimer's, and then all of a sudden she was okay with it. You're like the parent who disagrees with the gay lifestyle until your son becomes gay, and then you have to make a choice and you decide then to now love your child. See, you only want empathy because you're going through this shit now. But I have no doubt that if Donald Trump was to save your farm tomorrow, you would go right back to the same shit you used to do. I have no doubt. So I do feel bad that you're losing your job, but I'm not stupid. You were given the evidence a long time ago, and you thought that he was going to only hurt the people that don't look like you and the people you don't like. And now that it's touching you, like we told you it was, now you want us to give you empathy when you had no empathy for anyone else. So I feel bad that you're losing your farm. I wish it wouldn't happen. I hope that something happens that they are able to keep your farm in your family. But let's not be stupid about it. I absolutely know that you have not changed your stance on Donald Trump. I absolutely know that if you could vote for him again and they were to change something and you could vote for him again, you do it again. See, that's why I don't have that deep-seated empathy for you, because I know that you haven't changed as a man. You just want us to feel bad for you now because you're going through the same shit that we're all going through. So welcome, buddy. Welcome to our world. You're going through the same shit. Come on in. I don't think you're on our side yet, but hey, You're in our, I'm upset about the whole, he's going to send him to Chicago next. So you're in the same ship with us, buddy. I feel bad for you for losing your farm if that's what happens. I don't want that to happen. I hope it doesn't happen. But understand, I know that you're not a changed man. You're not changed. You just want him to fix you. You want him to help you, and you're still that same person, and you're still gonna feel the same way about me and everyone else. You just want help out now. And that's just my theory on it. So I don't want you to lose your shit, and I'm not the whole find out. No, I'm just saying it's hard to have empathy for someone that you told them what was going to happen. You showed them. You opened up Project 2025, and still you thought that it wasn't going to touch you. And so now you're in the same boat with us. I welcome you in. Hey, we're going to go through this shit for the next 3 years, buddy. So it's just the way it is. I hope your farm doesn't get taken over by maybe it needs to get taken over by a bigger corporation, because you evidently don't know how to take care of it, or should I say vote. You know what I mean? You do stupid shit. Stupid shit's gonna happen to you. You voted for this. What can I say? So maybe you don't have the intelligence to run that farm because you voted against your own fucking benefits. Maybe it's better that a corporation has your farm because you evidently don't know what you're doing because you voted against your own farm. Maybe corporation's good. Maybe prices will go down. Maybe your farm needs to be taken over by a corporation because your judgment and your voting has shown me that you don't know what you're doing when it comes to running a fucking farm. Because you voted against your own fucking... So, I feel bad for you, but... Dude, you feel bad for no one else. I mean, I'm already feeling bad for the Palestinians, for DC, for the people down at Alligator Island. I got a lot of people I feel bad about, buddy. You voted for that, so I have some sympathy for you, but I absolutely know that if Donald Trump was to pick your shit tomorrow, you would be right back to hating the rest of us.
And if I'm being real, baby, I don't give a fuck about that farmer losing his farm. I stood in that motherfucking line for 4 hours, and I voted for Miss Kamala. Now you sitting up here and you telling us to come help you? I don't give a fuck. Y'all said y'all didn't want a woman just to run the office, blah, blah, blah. The shit was in Project 2025. Y'all got what the fuck y'all wanted. Now y'all actually seeing, baby, oh, this ain't no joke. This shit is actually happening. Well, my thing is, baby, it's happening whether we like it or not. The man is in office whether we like it or not, and it's at your own doing. You sat up here and you voted for him, and you fucking around and you found out. All y'all are finding out, which y'all thought he was joking about what the fuck he said. Did you think like, oh, he not gonna do that. Bitch, he doing it. It's just like the audacity for you to pick up the phone and you telling us on TikTok that you need help. That ain't my problem. And the main problem with my people, my brothers and my sisters, y'all sit up here and y'all be so quick just to help the next person. But then when it's time for them to show up for us. Anyway.
When it comes to the white farmers who are losing all of their workers and are about to lose their farms, I say that's the way it was always meant to be. You were never meant to employ all of these people for little to nothing / nothing when it comes to your ancestors and be able to make a profit off of it. It was never meant to be the cool rad thing that your family does for generations to make money. It was never honest work. It was never honorable. It was always tainted. It always involved holding people against their will to squeeze every single dime you could out of them, whether by force or by threat. It was always about that. And it was never right for this country to make that their foundation and their road to wealth. And so now that it's crumbling, we are returning to the original form of what things should have been. So there you go. I get that they work hard and some of these farms have been passed down from generation to generation. Well, for generation after generation, we've had all of the stuff that you have piled onto us passed down each and every time. I don't want anyone to suffer out here. I don't want anyone to be on the streets or lose their possessions or anything. And I don't want anyone to be exploited for their work either. I don't want anyone building off of the backs of people they deem less than human. So if you're already doing that and you lose the things that you've gained, if you're finally reaping what you sowed.
So guys, as you continue watching, we still have another clip to watch. And this new wave of financial crisis It is sweeping across rural America, and many of the white farmers are facing unprecedented levels of bankruptcy. As economic pressure mounts, tensions are rising, and some are now shifting their frustration towards the black farmers whose own history with land ownership has been marked by discrimination, by resilience, and a generational struggle. So guys, even in the comment section, let's discuss what is driving the bankruptcy surge among the white farmers, and also how economic desperation is fueling economic overland, and the land standing challenges that black farmers have faced. Let's also talk about the government decisions, the market failures, and policy gaps shaping the crisis. We are also going to discuss here about why protecting land rights for all farmers matters in today's climate. So this is a conversation about economics, about history and justice, not division. Understanding the real forces behind growing tension is crucial, and America's agriculture landscape approaches a breaking point. So guys, just to watch, learn, and join the discussion respectfully. Let's get into these remaining clips. I'll be back with more commentaries. Stay tuned.
So, this isn't going to be the easiest video to make. Some of you may know that last year, in August of 22, I said goodbye to my family farm as it was being sold, and we were moving my mum out of the farm and up closer to me, as I live in the Cotswolds, and our family farm was in Devon. And I said at that point I would take you on tour, do a video and discuss it in more detail, and say why it went and what led to the decision being taken to sell the farm. And it was an amalgamation of different things that brought this decision forward. One of the biggest things was successionary issues, as in having a manager in place who was not willing to give up the reins and allow management to be passed down to like myself, and not being in a position where financially that farm could work being managed the way it was. And there are obviously a few other factors that kind of pull into that, but I will save that for another video. But this is more of an introduction. So on the day that we were leaving the farm, I put together a video, well, a load of clips essentially of me going around the farm, kind of giving you a little bit of a tour and explaining some of the things that we did and how the farm had not really been kept up to the sort of standards that I wanted, and give a bit of insight essentially. Essentially though, all the clips together came to about 20 minutes worth of footage, which is a lot, and on TikTok is far too excessive. So I'm going to break them down into probably 4 segments, most likely, and take it from there. And I'll be adding all these into a playlist, of which this will be the first video in that playlist. And once I've uploaded those videos, I'll then do a sort of debrief video and take you through the reasons why it failed, and offer some words of wisdom to those who are currently in family farms who may be experiencing some of the sort of red flags, as it were, that I experienced, in the hopes that you don't have to make the tough decisions that I had to, and see something that you love and you've put huge amounts of hours, pain, sweat, blood, tears and money into, because to all intents and purposes for the last few years I've been pouring money into a business that was failing because I was contending with someone who was focused on the farming lifestyle not making it a business, whereas I was very much interested in making it a business, and ultimately we just weren't on the same page. But I will give more details on that, and hopefully it can be useful for someone. But either way, I hope the videos are useful, and please continue watching them, and I'll see you soon.
That's what we got for American farmers, is zero empathy. We want them to fail. That's what you're saying out there. That's what Americans are saying right now is well, next time you'll vote the right way, or that's what you get for who you voted for. That, to me, I want to say it doesn't sound very American of people, but here lately, that's all we're doing is complaining.
So guys, the United States economy, the farming economy is collapsing under massive debt. Imagine, and the rising equipment costs, the inflation, the unstable crop prices, and also corporate consolidation. The small white farmers across the Midwest and South are filing bankruptcy at some of the highest rates in decades. And this is not about race. It's about an economy designed to squeeze out small farmers while empowering giant agricultural corporations. But when people lose their farms or their livelihood, they look for someone to blame. Is that even good? Black farmers have a long history of land struggle, so why should they be blamed? The black farmers have long history of land struggle in America, and the black farmers once owned nearly 20 million acres of farmland in the early 1900s. Today they own less than 10% of that. Not because of mismanagement, but because of decades of discrimination, unequal access to loans, racist county committees, land theft, intimidation, systemic barriers to federal assistance. So when bankruptcy hits white farmers, black farmers are still dealing with a century of losses that haven't been repaired. Yes, and some white farmers, frustrated and afraid, are now shifting anger towards the black farmers, accusing them of getting special treatment or unfair advantages. But the truth is that black farmers are still fighting for basic equity, not privilege. Many white farmers are reacting to a collapsing system, but placing the blame on the small farmers instead of the corporations and financial institutions that actually created this mess. So who is really benefiting? While small farmers fight each other, the corporate giants, the foreign investors and billionaires, they are quietly buying up millions of acres. They want farmland, they want control, and the infighting between communities only make it easier for them to take more. The real threat is not black farmers, white farmers, or any farmer. It's the corporations turning American agriculture into a monopoly. And this crisis isn't about race, it's about survival. Small farmers of all backgrounds are being pushed out, and unless communities come together to protect their land, the future of American farmers will be owned by faceless corporations. So guys, that is what is happening today. Drop your thoughts in the comments respectfully, and if you value truth over division, make sure to like, share and subscribe. Guys, of course, all credit belongs to the original creators of the video, and this video is meant for educational purposes and commentary purposes as well. Thank you for being with me throughout the video. Kindly give this video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video widely for it to get to a wider audience, and also subscribe, hit that notification bell, guys. Turn it on so that you don't miss on the next episode. Yes, this is the best place to be. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I give all credit to the original creators of the video. Thank you very much. Kindly don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section, guys. Let's discuss everything respectfully. Thank you, be blessed and have a nice time. Peace be with you until the next one.